Hi, everybody. I am just going to wait for a moment for my moderator to join us, and I will jump right in. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Sarah. You can find me on most social media at Sarah Descending. I'm particularly active on Twitter. Find my main account there, and that is my primary social media. But I also have accounts on Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, Substack. Is there any others? Threads? I don't use Threads very much. But anyway, if you'd like to connect, I would be honored to connect with you. Find me on Twitter at Sarah Descending. And that should help you find me on all the other places, including Instagram. And I just want to welcome you. I am a depth quantum energy work practitioner. I offer a number of modalities from very earth-based to very cosmic quantum work. And the two are actually interrelated and one and the same because we are spirit and matter both. So both matter very much. Hello, Truth Wave Energy Meditation. Happy to see you here. Thank you for jumping on. Tonight we are going to be I'm going to be performing one individual mini Akashic session for somebody. And I am going to then check in with the kind of collective Akash and do a general sort of energy check-in and see what's coming up. I will be keeping tonight a little bit shorter than I did the last one because I have a really cool opportunity this week to be participating in the Beyond Quantum Healing Immersion course. So for anybody who is interested, Beyond Quantum Healing, or BQH, is one of the modalities offered in my energy work container. And I've been participating with that since the beginning of the year and had the opportunity to do a phenomenal in-person course with the creator of that modality, Candace Craw-Goldman. And that starts tomorrow morning. So I will be wrapping up a little bit earlier here so that I can make sure I am well rested for our immersion this week. If you are interested in working with me, you can find my offerings at stan.store/Sarah Descending. For package consideration, so I have 2 depth packages that are not able to be booked on my store: Descend to Ascend and Quantum Akasha Mentorship and Initiation. You are welcome to email me about that, sarahdescending@proton.me. So with that said, I'm just going to jump into setting the container with you. I have already been engaging in container setting and space preparation for the last several minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and read my decree, and then we'll jump in for client number 1. So I decree and declare that this container is created, infused, and protected by the essence and light of Creator, Great Spirit, the holy and divine Mother, Father of the cosmos. I call in and thank with everlasting gratitude Yeshua as the living embodiment of the Spirit of the Christ. And I also thank the dark feminine impulse that is the feminine Christ energy. And by dark, we do not mean bad or evil or malevolent. We mean the nourishing womb and tomb, the void of all that is our rebirth. She who called me to this work. We thank you for your modeling of the way, which is the compassionate and awakened heart. I thank all of the ancestors, both past and future, of those present today and those who will be listening to the replay, for their space holding support and loving guidance. However, I request that only ancestors who have come to a certain point of initiation and completion in their healing journey of soul evolution be allowed to participate and guide in any way during this journey. We are here to activate and build upon the wisdom codes that are every cell of these bodies as we presently embody the sum total of all who came before us and all who will come after us. As such, in gentle yet firm declaration, all siphoning ancestral spirits that are confused or in distortion, all other disembodied people who are currently here or within this dimensional location that need to be assisted, all non-human intelligence and AI tracking, demonic or alien oppression, suppression, possession, walk-ins that are malevolent, and or attachments, implants, or other tracking and monitoring will be guided to the appropriate place in or out of space-time and time-space during our session today. And with that, I'm going to just jump right in and request access to flow with and view and receive information on and in and with and through the aspect of the interconnected weaving of the organic tapestry web of life that is the Akash as pertains to client number 1. I'm just adjusting frequency bandwidth a little bit for this. Okay. So access has been granted, and now I'm just going to flow for 15 or 20 minutes for the client tonight. And let's see. Okay, there's lots of blue. So typically when I do quantum Akash readings, there tends to be colors that I see at the beginning of the session. And right now, I'm seeing significant blue, which I think I saw for somebody the other day as well. And this blue is the blue of the brightest, clearest sky. It is the blue that I would associate, like if I was a child coloring a picture of the ocean, this is the blue I would color the water, or the blue I would color a vibrant sky. So that's the energy frequency signature that we're working with today. It is very likely that you have experienced some throat-related symptoms or issues throughout your life. What I'm perceiving, what I feel like I'm being shown, is that sometimes it feels like your throat is blocked and it's hard to communicate in a direct, clear, authentic way. And other times it may be excessive talking or excessive communication, or communication in a way that doesn't feel aligned, but like a lot of talking or saying something awkward, wrong thing at the wrong time. So I'm getting that there may be like a tendency to struggle with clarified, consistent communication style related to something ancestrally that is presenting in the throat. Something happened when you were 6 years old. You may have recall of this, you may not. I'm feeling like what the Akash is showing me is in this body, in this life, something happened when you were about 6 years old related to school, potentially family. This feels more school related though. And there was some confusion, misunderstanding, maybe embarrassment or shame about whatever this was. And it further kind of furthered and exacerbated what was going on with the throat. So you are really working, like if you want to talk about like what is your energetic work right now, one of the things that I'm being shown is it relates to the throat. It relates to communication. It relates to energy flow. Like as I'm visualizing, they're showing me the energy moves up, and it can kind of get a little hindered, stuck sometimes here. In particular, I'm hearing O sounds, humming, but and O, those kind of sounds are going to help clear some of the energy. There's also a need for you to incorporate more frankincense and myrrh, both together or separately. Frankincense is very high. I'm going to use the word high vibrational, that phrase. It's not my favorite phrase, but I think we all can understand what that means. Bringing some frankincense and myrrh, and I'm not sure what this one is. I'm being shown copar, COPAR. I'm not familiar with that, but it's coming up as potentially really resonant and in alignment with where you are at right now, and can support some of the personal work that you're doing. Connecting with these substances, frankincense, myrrh, and I think it's copar. I'm not sure what that is, so I'm just going to offer to you what the Akasha is offering me. While there's also, I'm just going to mention that along with the connecting with the womb waters of your own life force energy in an orgasmic way is going to assist in circulating the energy. And it's really, this is important as well for you right now. Like I'm seeing accessing this in a way that's true, pure, and authentic for you, that this energy is for you outside of the male gaze or outside of the gaze of potential partners. Accessing this to help circulate your own life force in a way that is beautiful and generative and nourishing for you is really, really important right now too, along with continuing to address communication. It feels like there's a sense of sometimes communication being awkward. And as you begin working with, like you see how I'm kind of flowing, and I'm actually writing the infinity symbol, like an 8 on its side. As you begin working more with really, really flowing with your own energy, all of this is going to come together, and communication will feel less awkward. Even when you're like direct and bold in it, what the Akash is showing me is that there's a tendency for it to feel awkward sometimes. Awkward, unnatural. I am seeing that other soul blueprints or incarnations or templates, quantum existences that you're also having right now are, many of them are existences in which we are not, or you are not actually speaking with the throat or the voice, and there's more energetic, whether it's heart or mind, telepathic communication and connection. So do keep that in mind, that some of this awkward feeling is because this may be something that is not as encoded in your soul template, and this is a different experience, or an experience that you haven't had as often. I'm also being drawn to mention that there is some work to do at like the back of the heart space. So back here in between the shoulder blades, there is some energy work and healing, clearing that needs to happen in order for you to access more of the conscious, expanded, awakened heart energy that you're working with and coming into, as well as and other details and dynamics that I'm not comfortable saying on a live stream, that would require me to be facilitating an in-person energy work session for and with you. It's very likely that you occasionally have back pain. So I'm seeing like around the shoulder blades and then probably mid lower back, neck. This is all energy into form, energy that has come down into matter and kind of interfered with tissue feeling healthy. There's lots of stress and tension and trapped emotion being held in these tissues, and you can get your energy moving a little bit better and do some repair work. And I think you'll feel less discomfort. I want to editorialize. The Akash is telling me it's okay for me to mention that while many things can be improved, and I have seen miraculous healing occur before my very eyes with work that I have facilitated, shamanic visioning work, a collaborator, partner, friend of mine healed an injury in an instant, like an injury that was requiring crutches. So I want to always issue the caveat, and I have a video about this for anybody who may be new. Healing is the becoming of that which you already are. Healing often looks different than we think it will. And while we can feel so much better than we do right now, or then we can have an issue, have a problem that we want to correct and resolve, but the resolution of the problem isn't always delivered how we think it will be. And some things we are asked to hold and carry. We can improve it, but it doesn't always go away because there is such a complex, nuanced interplay of factors in this world of 3D reality in which we are existing in a free will realm. And there are clashing of free will sovereign beings. Somebody's free will clashes with what's actually best for the collective of ensouled humans, so on and so forth. And so I want to say that you can help and assist in co-creating many, many types of feeling better, learning, integration, growing, evolving, but that sometimes we don't get, and I'm not sure why it's important for me to touch on this for this client, but it's coming up that it's really important for me to say that sometimes healing looks significantly different than we think it will when we go about starting a journey like this. And it's why I always say that even though I bring my medicine, I bring the medicine I am, I open the hollow bone, I become the divine line, I set myself aside and become what I bring through and become what is needed for you in the moment. You are your own healer. You are the healer. I am holding space, loaning my magic to the activity. And I just want to say, like, I can see the Akasha showing me there's either like maybe either jaw pain or headaches, jaw pain, and your loved ones, your soul family that I'm seeing in your Akashic chamber are just sending so much love and holding so much space for you in this. And one of the messages that's coming through that's being shared by a Minotaur, we're going to have to feel into that later, but is that you have to release the tendency to mind it too hard. So I'm being shown like the neural pathways or the thought patterns that have become comfortable to run in your mind. And some of these are protection indeed. Many of these patterns that we develop start out as a way to protect the self, especially to protect the inner child. However, something that starts as protection can actually become harmful or become a hindrance, and that may be what's happening. And if you are experiencing mental loops from time to time, the loved ones within your Akashic record are telling you that you can lay this down. You can release these thought patterns, these neural pathways that are no longer serving you, protecting you, or really functioning as being for your highest good. And you can lay those down, clear them, and create new patterns, new pathways, new thoughts. It's important to begin thinking about feeling with the heart, thinking and feeling with the heart, developing heart-mind coherence. Heart-womb coherence is also particularly important for women. It just depends where you're at in your personal journey. I recommend often women need to do heart-womb and then loop in mind. Sometimes men need to do heart, mind, and then loop in their groin or sacral, their energetic womb space. For you, I'm feeling both are important. And in order to get maybe these occasional racing thoughts or these thought patterns that aren't helpful, really focusing on coming down. The Akasha is showing me you bringing the thoughts down into the body, into the heart, into the womb, into the plexus, working on bringing the energy of the thoughts into the body so the body can better feel it and help you mitigate and manage them and identify what is not for you. That feels really important. And now I'm seeing the purple, the true purple that is the color, frequency, and signature essence of sovereignty, truth, wholeness, wisdom, and autonomy. So it is in working on this process of developing a heart, mind, womb coherence where you bring anything that is causing jaw pain or racing thoughts or headache down into the body to be felt so it can actually be identified as what it is and whether or not that is for you is going to be the way to fully call in the true cosmic sovereignty, the solar and cosmic codes of sovereignty for you as an individual and an individual who is part of the all, part of the one, part of the mother, father of the cosmos. So that feels super important. And like it's a really, really nuanced and beautiful process that you are being invited to begin. There is a horse. I see this horse from time to time. This horse is actually an alicorn. In initial vision, the horse looks like a beautiful brown horse with kind of a white sort of marking or like star on the forehead. And then it generally, before my very eyes, transforms into a brilliant, iridescent, shiny white alicorn, which is like a unicorn with wings. And when I see this being in somebody's Akashic chamber or in other visioning work, such as my intuitive shamanic visioning or other like quantum clearing work, it is an invitation directly from that energetic being, from that energy being of the alicorn to assist and support you in the personal work that you're doing, your own evolution, as well as a call into assisting you to learn how to traverse other dimensional places within your consciousness. So typically people may not know how to travel or fly, if you will, float initially on their own or in their own work as they're beginning. And we will have various guiding, helping spirits and energies offer to assist. And this brown horse, who is also a metaphysical, non-ordinary reality, amazing alicorn, is inviting you into deeper connection with that. So let's see what else. I'm just kind of settling in. I'm seeing a stalk of wheat. This is interesting. I feel like the wheat is indicating potential for looking into like the kind of goddess archetypes that are related to prosperity, abundance, and grain. I'm thinking Demeter, or is it Ceres or Sarah? Ceres is what I'm seeing. The letters I'm seeing in my visioning. Again, these can be energetic archetypes, energy streams that you connect with. These can be mythologies that you read about and determine how you can apply that to your own life and if you should or want to. But it's coming up very strongly in your energy field and in the Akashic record that this is a worthy pursuit. That's the phrasing I'm supposed to use. A worthy endeavor or a worthy pursuit. So look into those kind of goddess archetypes and really, really connect with the land, the sun, and the sea. The sea is holding important codes for you right now. However, there is a former, and remember, in my gnosis, my understanding is that it's all now. So when I say former, that's for the former or past, that's for the finite human mind to better conceptualize. But there is another lifetime, another soul template in which I feel you've had a water affiliated or associated existence that may have some kind of a residual trauma patterning, or there may be something that you might be seeking to karmically clear and or heal and release related to the water. I'm wondering if you're a swimmer. I'm being shown lots of water symbology, and then even like a swim cap and a bathing suit. So I just wanted to mention that to you. Connecting with the water, the sun, and the land are really important right now. Getting your hands on the ground, like I'm seeing you, they're showing me you need to bend over or sit down and put your hands on the ground, not just your feet, your hands. And please remember that many women ground better in water than they do on land. So both are important, but I am being shown that for you, it's important to pair them together. So time outside, connecting with the land, learning to identify the frequency signatures of the rustling of the leaves in the trees as their specific song. They will speak to you. Connecting with flowers. If flowers are still in bloom or available where you're at, put your hand over the flower and feel the vibrational resonance, the song of the flower. All of these things, I'm just seeing kind of like a crack in like dry land. And you like, not like a fault line, but like a crack where the land or where the dirt has dried out because it hasn't rained very much. But I'm seeing you sitting and putting your hand on either side of this like crack in the dry ground and connecting with the codes and the stories of the land on which you sit. you are not where you're at by accident. There are no coincidences. And there are some land connections, codes, shared transmission that you are here wherever it is that you live at to receive and also offer. So that's really important. I'm seeing like a suggestion would be, spend time hiking, walking, whatever, running if you're a runner, or in stillness outside for an hour or two. And then make sure that when you're able to, balance it with time in the water, whether that's the ocean or a lake or a bathtub or a hot tub, whatever you have available, a swimming pool. Do make sure, if you can, a couple times a week, outside every day for a little while is really important. Life is crazy. They're showing me, if you're not a runner and you're not a swimmer, both of these are being offered as ways that you can connect with these elements. If your body allows. Never should you push yourself into something that is going to cause like a nervous system overstimulation or dysregulation. And for some people who have not already been running, running definitely can and will, especially for women. But really connecting with the land, the water. I'm just scanning. The stalk of wheat that I saw is really interesting because it feels like it's multifactorial in its symbolism, multifaceted. So we definitely have like kind of the Demeter or similar feeling that I was getting about prosperity and abundant grain, and that being something that you can work with and tap into. But I'm also just going to offer that the wheat in particular feels important. And I'm going to offer, because I'm in the quantum Akash, so I'm seeing lots of probabilities, potentialities, timelines. And I'm just going to offer that some of what I'm seeing may involve like you eliminating wheat for a few weeks and seeing that you feel better, or gluten containing grains or glyphosate containing grains, because now there's some thought that it may not be the gluten, it might be the glyphosate. So that's coming up as like something I need to mention because it's being shown to me in multiple of these possibilities. From a health perspective, I feel like you're fairly everything internally is working fairly well. I am going to mention again, as I do each time, that I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional. I am an energy intuitive who can receive a fair amount of information about the human body and physical functioning and supplements that may be worth a try after you do your own research, and that myself and the Akash with which I speak and work with honor and revere your human sovereignty. And all of this is advice for entertainment purposes only, that you can do with as you please, and you must always do your own research. So with that caveat issued, I'm going to say that what's coming up is that you could potentially begin looking into certain digestive enzymes and potentially HCl. So I am being shown, and this came up in for somebody else recently too, and being shown that there may be like low stomach acid. And when we have low acid, sometimes what's there churns really, really, really aggressively to try to cover the area needed. and it can even cause reflux-like symptoms if this is something that you have ever experienced, or maybe people you know, if this isn't pertaining to you. If you have silent reflux, if anyone's ever told you they think you have silent reflux, I'm just seeing that you may benefit from considering digestive enzymes and HCl. So that is coming up as something worth mentioning. You have a periwinkle blue string, like a it looks like it's not string, it's like ribbon that you would curl for a birthday gift. I can't think of the exact name, but like if you were going to curl ribbon to put on a gift package, there is a periwinkle blue ribbon string like that tied on your left ankle energetically. I'm going to offer that to you because you're not someone I've worked with before. I don't feel I have clearance to be taking things off or doing energy clearing that I would do in a one-on-one session. So I'm going to tell you that that's there. It has something to do with what's coming up is your mother's lineage, so your matrilineal lineage, and your relationship with yang energy. So not just with men, not just with boys, with yang energy, including your own. We all, gender, I've talked about this a lot. Gender is who we are in this body. It is a very small part of the fullness of our souls. We are one another reversed. Men and women are more alike than we are different. And that is actually going to be the key to healing, doing more healing as a collective and coming into the shift back to ancient future Tara Earth. But with that said, there is some, let's see, there's some clarification. Like I'm seeing that you may be here as kind of one of the people who's going to be dealing with some of these ancestral or family patterns and clearing it for yourself and potentially for your line. And that's the information I was asked to share. There are a lot of purple, the purple I was speaking of earlier, cosmic, solar codes and activations related to full sovereignty and the acceptance of your wholeness and fullness as an individual, like accepting your power, ready and beginning to arrive as you continue to initiate through the current energetic threshold that you're facing. And like I said, this amazing alicorn who masquerades as a brown horse is within your field and your Akashic record offering assistance. And let's see, is there anything else? So they're telling me to finish with this. 3 souls that you have known infinitely, that you have potentially not yet met in this life, you will be connecting with them, 3 different individuals in the next 18 months or so. Some of them may be your own future children. Some of them may show up in the most unlikely of places. When you see them, you will know them. And I'm just seeing these sparks of recognition when you lock eyes with these 3 people. Life will feel much less alone as you continue to build and grow and cultivate these connections with these people as well as with others. there is a sense of even when you are around people or with a group of people, sometimes feeling alone and lonely. And I know that very well. It has been my experience off and on for many years. And I just want to tell you that your community, your communion begins within you and your own heart space and your connection to the God force, which will then ripple and emanate outward from you. It's a very beautiful thing, and it is happening for you, and you can assist in the co-creation of it. And so with that, I'm going to thank the client for booking this mini session with me today. The Akash was really flowing for you, and I'm going to kind of switch gears and see if there's anything to speak about from a collective energetic perspective. An energy check-in, any intuitive activations. So I'm being shown like what I call a distract, deflect vortex. What happens to all of us from time to time, and is a frequent manipulation tactic of the New Age cage, is to provide us with these many distract, deflect vortexes. Sometimes you might also call this a rabbit hole, or a spin where you're spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, or you're on the hamster wheel and you can't get off, and you're really, really, really deep in this topic, or this something that makes you like you have a passionate reaction to it, whether that's positive or negative. And it's been coming up a lot for me to mention that these distract, deflect vortexes can show up in our lives in many, many ways. And they are for energy harvesting. So it's a ploy to extract human energy and to keep us or keep you from living the fullness of your purpose and plan and goals. And there's a lot going on. And I was just in conversation today with some other amazing women who are quantum healing practitioners about how when we give too much of our attention to these topics, we actually help to co-create or co-render more of it within the reality. So right now, there's a very fine line. It's a very fine line, and it's a lesson in discernment. It's evolution. It's learning. It's growth. Learning how, like, what is the right amount? Like, we need to acknowledge things for what they are, because if we don't acknowledge something for what it is, we actually cannot change it. The acknowledgement for how something is or what it is or why it is has to come in order for us to change it. But if we give too much focus to a certain thing, we actually help to create more of it, more disease, more unrest, more strife. You get the idea. So I guess what the Akasha is showing me was just to address that in minimizing your own power to co-create with the fullness of humanity in this world, you may actually be creating more of what you don't want. And so please have compassion. Live in compassion and hold the vision. hold the vision and remember that we came here for such a time as this. We came to live the shift. I think I spoke about this the other night. We are like midwifing the dismantling and dissolution of certain systems or agents or structures that are no longer serving the highest and most benevolent outcome for all of humanity and for Gaia. We are here to be stewards of Earth so we can join in the cyclical nature of back to Tara, back to Gaia. These are the consciousness that works together. These consciousnesses are the same. It's the same consciousness in my understanding, by different names related to density and dimension. And she is shifting, and we are here to join her in that. And she has been, the Earth Mother has been very forbearing. And I pray and so believe that we can join her in this together with wisdom and remembrance and clarity and growth, and that we can come together as a people in union with love, because love is the force, which is the source, and we are all living fractals of it, of that source. And it is in that knowledge and that felt sense within the heart, the womb, the mind, all together, that we are going to create the loving, living, breathing heartbeat changes that this world would really benefit from. So I know that things can be really quite stressful for many people right now. And I see you. You are welcome here. You are not alone. That was another thing that's come up lately, is so many people feeling alone in the discomfort, in the instability, insecurity. And that seems to be one of, in my perspective, one of the distract, deflect traps, is in convincing us that either we are alone or that we are better off alone and we can do this by ourselves better than we can do it together. So there's been a lot of loneliness, and also a thought form that I've seen pretty prevalently recently related to making people think that they're a bother, or that they can do what they need to do without seeking support or friendship or connection, and that they should just hold it all in and do this by themselves. So please know that there is community for you. Many people who I have connected with and who have been on a similar journey as to myself frequently find that they don't feel like they have community where they live. And what I was shown very early on by the Quantum Akash and the other energy streams that I work with is that the reason that many of us have had that experience is twofold. One, it's because we are energetically connected to certain land places, and we are both receivers and antennas, and the work that we are doing in the land upon which we are placed is really, really important. And there have to be certain people of a frequency bandwidth, of a capacity in specific areas. But that can make for, depending upon the area and your constitution and what your life is structured like, it can make for feeling very alone, especially if you were maybe an early awakener. If you came to more consciousness within this waking dream sooner than many did, there can be a lot of aloneness. And I see this quite a bit in my work. And this is where I do recommend finding online community if you are not someone who has people in person. So find an online community that feels resonant for you, while always keeping in mind that the people around you in your physical reality are actually probably a lot more awake and aware and conscious than they initially seem, and that everybody is a crystalline fractal, a crystal from source. And we are all remembering in different ways, in different stages. We are on both an individual path and a humanity widespread path together. Everything is beautiful and sacred that is within us. And anything that is not can be integrated, released, to remember, to come into the remembrance of that which you already are. So I really hope that this is encouraging. Please, if you develop an online community or you get involved somewhere, please be aware of distract, deflect traps that can happen online, or even just scrolling too much on your phone so that you're not present in your physical reality. These are fine lines, again, that we have to walk. But I wanted to share personally that when I became more active on Twitter 4 or 5 years ago, I developed lifelong friends who I will be friends with for the rest of my life, or be in connection and communion with for the rest of my life, and felt more seen in many aspects and regards than I had in a number of years prior to that connection developing. But again, it's a fine line, and please beware any spiritual teachers or speakers who focus excessively on these distract, deflect traps. And the one I'm going to mention, just as a quick example, would be like if somebody is talking so much about, let's say, the lower astral, about beware, we don't want to create that here. While that is very true, an excess amount of attention on a topic like that, especially for someone that has a very large platform and gets a lot of followers, watchers, viewers, subscribers, actually helps to co-create. So that's an example of like actually co-creating more of what we say we don't want. And I see this coming up frequently as a way that somebody who probably started out very well-intentioned within work or within their offerings winds up being unintentionally or unconsciously, they wind up kind of working against the greater goal. So I guess that felt really important to share. I just want to tell you, you're not alone. I'm just flowing with the Akash for a second. Somebody here needs to connect with the power animals that have been trying to speak to you. So archetypal power animals. There's 3 of them in somebody's field. Pondering the nature of infinity and what it means to be an infinite and eternal being is coming up as something I should mention. Working on developing heart connections with people who are aligned for you to do so is also being mentioned by the collective Akash right now. And I am to mention that the way I energetically visualize these heart connections is as a never-ending loop that looks like a figure 8 between my heart and theirs. And upon being a former teacher that I had a massive heart space expansion with, that was how I actually saw like the heart energy connect. And it is now like the connection that I have with those who are very close to me, and I can visualize the energy. And a heart space connection, it's very important that it be reciprocal. And it is something that everybody can have. And it also takes effort to practice and learn and come into feeling that kind of a heart-based space connection. So, okay. This isn't the time for me to talk about channeling. I have a different perspective than many do. I will say that I don't channel because I'm always in my body. Nothing else ever takes over my body. So I am heart, mind, telepathically, energetically connecting. However, there is a book that was a channeled text that I'm being led to mention. I'm not sure who this is for. I'm thinking 3 or 4 people who are catching the live stream or will watch it tomorrow. The Magdalene Manuscript by Tom Kenyon. Whether or not you want the story part of it doesn't matter to me, but the exercises in there, especially the individual exercises of learning how to best access and connect with your own life force energy and move that up, is coming up as important for a couple of people that are present or will be watching later to consider. Coming into union, if you have a partner, would be great too. But ultimately, my guidance has been that there does need to be some measure of self-initiation into one's own energy in that way before the kind of union that lots of polarity and relationship coaches like to talk about really actually happens. So let's see. Is there anything else relevant to our stream tonight? Okay. If you're having trouble sleeping, looking into B6 as P5P is coming up as important. You could consider, whoever this is for, could consider 5-HTP, but I'm really thinking that tweaking that B6, which is a cofactor in production for sleep hormones, may dial that in for you. Creating several layers of safety. I'm seeing somebody needing to create 3 to 4 layers of energetic safety around their body. In particular, I'm seeing like a rectangular shape as being the important first shape. Somebody's been waking up with a major stress response. Like I could feel like waking up and your heart is just racing like a cortisol overload. I'm seeing that some energetic protection is needed, and you are and have all that you need to be able to do that within you through your own intention setting and asking for divine guidance in doing so. So I wanted to offer that. And with this, we're at about the hour mark, and I need to be wrapping up for the night. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Since I am doing the BQH immersion course this week, I'm not sure when I will next be live. Tentatively, hopefully Wednesday, but if it's a busy week, we may put that off until Friday. I hope to see you on Wednesday, and if not, I will see you Friday evening. And if you would like to reserve a mini session with me, feel free to email me, sarah.descending@proton.me. And typically that is in the description box of all of the videos that I have posted here. So, and if you want to book single sessions, single one-on-one energy work sessions with me, which I hold via Zoom, or if you're in the Wichita, Kansas area, I will consider you for in-person work. Do go to my scheduling page, stan.store/Sarah Descending. Find me on Twitter. That's where you will currently be able to access the majority of my posts and writing. Some of that is going to go over to Patreon or similar in coming months, but right now you can find most of what I share on Twitter. Again, thank you guys for coming. I'm so blessed and honored to connect with you. Have a wonderful night or morning or afternoon if you're somewhere else in the world, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.